So Jesse, you started off as a Juilliard theater graduate and a theater arts teacher, and now you are a communications specialist as well as a jury trial consultant. That's quite a journey. Can you explain how that journey happened?
I really honestly couldn't explain it to you aside from the fact that once we let go of the idea that we're supposed to be somewhere in life, life gets really, really interesting. I worked with inmates, and that's where I learned the fundamentals, or specifically the 8 fundamentals of powerful communication. How that began was when I was invited to share theater behind bars. That experience changed my life, personally and professionally, and that was where up close I began to see how truly powerful the theater was with people who didn't have any desire necessarily to be actors, but they needed to change something in their lives. And so that shift, that transformation got me really, really interested in what was going on underneath the theater.
Jesse, after that you created a successful communications program called Tell the Winning Story. Why is it called Tell the Winning Story?
The reason why this communications program is called Tell the Winning Story is because I began to look at what was out there in the field of communications effectiveness programs. And there are so many programs that focus on the discovery of the story, but not many programs that actually focus on the actual tell, getting the words in your body, your storytelling instrument. What inspired me to create Tell the Winning Story was when I was first asked to work in a courtroom as a jury trial consultant. And I saw the lawyer up there, whose name shall not be named, who was hiding the story behind a wall of facts and legal theories. And there was no story, there was no connection, there was no engagement. And I saw that my role, or my experience as an actor, could benefit this person enormously.
As a trial consultant, you've gone on to help trial attorneys win multi-million-dollar jury verdicts. What is it that you've learned during the pre-trial and trial phases that you now teach to people who attend your seminars?
One of the main things that I've learned during the pre-trial and trial phase of working on a case with a lawyer, among the many things that I focus on, I would say probably the biggest thing is transforming the victim from victim to victor. And once you're able to effectively do that, that sets a tone for everything that you need to communicate to the jury.
Can you explain that a little more?
When we turn the victim into a victor, we have now surmounted one of the greatest obstacles, not only for the trial lawyer, but for actors. In our advocacy of the victim, we cannot play the victim ourselves. Our tendency is when we're approaching a character who has gone through a tale of woe and tragedy, our temptation, the go-to, is to play that in a tragic way. But if you do that, if you approach it that way, you rob them of the experience, them being the jury, of seeing the fight in that character. And if we see somebody fighting for something that they desperately want to have in their life that will make them whole, or the attempt at trying to make themselves whole, now that becomes our fight. So don't rob us of the experience. That's getting out of the victim trap.
Can you give me an example of turning the victim into a victor? I don't understand exactly.
One example I can give you of turning the victim into a victor is if I'm talking about my client, if I'm the lawyer talking about my client, and I'm taking them from where they were before in their life, before the accident, before the tragic thing happened, before what was taken from them. If I'm telling you about a joyful part of their life, but I'm telling the story in a tragic way. As an example, let me tell you the story when my client was really, really happy. They were in love. They had everything, but that thing that they loved was taken away from them. Then all I'm doing is emotionally flatlining. The joy part of their life and the tragic part of the life, the thing that they can no longer have, is one and the same. And so now, okay, it's a sad story, but now you've robbed me, the juror, of the experience to see what they were like before. Just because you're saying it doesn't mean I'm feeling it, but allowing yourself, you, the lawyer, to step into that emotional state and say, I love telling this story. I wish I could tell you about this story, this before story, but I can't because of what was taken from them. Now we have a journey. Now we have a place to go to. And then if we see the character, i.e. the client, who is trying to get back to where they were before, and you allow us to see that and feel that, and everything you're saying in opening is a sneak preview for what we're going to experience in direct, right? Now you're roping me in. I want to see more, and more than that, I want to fight for this guy.
And what do you love most about your profession?
One of the things that I love most about the profession is that I get to see people who walk off the stage and say, my God, I cannot believe I did that. That is the coolest thing ever.